Tell us why this was so groundbreaking, this particular case.
Yeah. So Dwayne's case, again, I was a student in the clinic and got to kind of learn about it while my colleagues were working on it when Dwayne was exonerated. But the reason this case was really groundbreaking is, at least for Michigan and for Detroit, it was right at the beginning of this coming understanding of how bad the criminal justice system could be and how bad, honestly, it had gotten in Detroit. Dwayne was convicted of murder despite the fact that the police department, the investigating officer initially on the case was aware that someone else had committed the series of murders that had happened in this neighborhood. Yet Dwayne was charged and convicted of one of them, when the beat officers in that neighborhood would have told the prosecution that they had the wrong guy. And in the prosecutor's office, interestingly enough, there was a series of murders, 3 of them. Dwayne was prosecuted for one, but the same prosecutor's office, under a very, very different theory, tried another man for one of the other murders. And when we discovered this, we realized that really both theories couldn't be true. And we presented this in court. There was new evidence. The witness against Dwayne was recanting. There was, all kinds of new evidence that would have eventually gotten him a new trial after a hearing. But I think the judge finally started to understand, after seeing some of this evidence, that this case was truly what we purported it to be, that a man had been convicted and sentenced to 10 years in prison, sentenced to 30 to 60 years, but had served 10 years in prison, despite being fully and actually innocent. So Dwayne was exonerated in around 2010, yes, I think March of 2010. And then there was a series of victories similarly after that, some achieved by our clinic, some by the Innocence Project, some by just independent attorneys, that I think really started to show the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office and the police department that there was a systemic issue here, that when it happened once or twice, it was easy enough to say, well, this is a 1 in a million case. But by 2015-16, I think Prosecutor Worthy certainly came to understand that this was more than just, a once in a million thing. So I give her a lot of credit at that point for creating the Conviction Integrity Unit in Wayne County, which has quickly become one of the best conviction integrity units in the country. And they have exonerated, I think probably close to 30 people now in just the 2 or 3 years that they've been innocent. And we've been fortunate enough to work with them on a couple of our exonerations. So I think in this 10 years, the world has really changed as far as litigating an innocence case and what are your chances of being vindicated if you were wrongfully convicted. And that can be traced back to those early beginnings with the Proviance case, where we were making these allegations that police and prosecutors had made some missteps, and people were, just seeing us seeing this as a ludicrous thing to say. But today, I think virtually everyone accepts that this happens, and we need to minimize and prevent this from happening.